Hey gamers, your friendly healer is here to help get you back to gaming, crafting, typing, whatever, you name it, pain-free. To anybody who is new here or has no idea who I am, hello, my name is Clockwork Angel, I am a Twitch streamer and a cosplayer. I will have all of my social media accounts linked in the description below. I'm a Twitch streamer, so what am I doing here on YouTube? I'm going to be starting a mini-series of health ailments to help get gamers, crafters, cosplayers back to doing what they do, pain-free. Today specifically, I'm going to be talking about carpal tunnel. Why? Because I just had the wonderful privilege, and still currently, am suffering from it. Did you know that when you're using your keyboard, your mouse, and your controllers, your hands aren't supposed to hurt? I know. It's pretty shocking information. You shouldn't have pain. So let's talk about it. Disclaimer, this is not an official diagnosis, nor will I be diagnosing anybody with any particular injury. I am not a licensed physician. I am going to be sharing my years of medical knowledge with you to help you feel pain-free. If you are experiencing extreme and severe symptoms, please seek a medical professional. Here's a little bit of background. I graduated college with a bachelor's of science and a minor in biology. I studied exercise science and then proceeded to work in physical therapy for 2.5 years, where I worked with patients every day, treating injuries and writing exercise programs for them. I also was an athlete for about 18 years of my life and was considered to be pretty injury prone. So my numerous experiences with injuries, surgeries, and physical therapy greatly increased my knowledge and experience. So I figured I could help shed some light on what I know to help getting you back to getting that DPS. So let's get to the medical stuff, the boring stuff. Let's get scientific, if you will. Today's episode is about carpal tunnel. Again, why carpal tunnel? I am currently suffering from it. So, what is carpal tunnel? Carpal tunnel is caused by a pinching or pressure on the central nerve in your arm called the median nerve. This nerve runs from your ring finger, middle finger, pointer finger, and thumb all the way up your arm. So you can have pain anywhere in this area. Your pinky may have phantom pains, however, the median nerve does not actually interact with your pinky. What happens is too much pressure is put on the nerve and it becomes swollen, pinched, irritated, and it starts to cause pain when it goes through the channel in your wrist called the carpal tunnel. Once that nerve has been pinched, it can then cause symptoms including pain, which would be, again, in the thumb, ring finger, pointer finger, ring finger, into the palm, the wrist, your forearm, and your elbow, and even a little bit higher. Outside of pain, you may experience tingling, so you'll feel shooting up the fingers down the arm. Throbbing would be included in there, as well as numbness. I currently have numbness on the back of my thumb, where when I do this, I cannot feel it. My median nerve is still a little bit swollen and still a little irritated, so I haven't quite gained back all of my pain free yet. But we're on the right track. If any of these symptoms are applying to you, then I think this is the video for you. I'm going to start with the basics. There's going to be 4 basics, the typical injury treatments, but let's give a quick refresher. Number 1, rest. And I don't mean take off from work. I don't mean stop gaming for a month. I mean intervals. In between your queues and your queue times when you're waiting to queue up for your next match, take your hands off your keyboard. Rest them, stretch them, which again I'll go over stretches in a couple minutes. Let your hands sit down at your sides, take a breather, get up, walk to the bathroom. Keyboard, when you finish your first task, get up, again, stretch, move your hands. Keeping them stationary for too long a period of time, resting on that median nerve, will only increase your pain and decrease your work time. If you take breaks, you're more likely to be able to game or finish your work faster and have a better duration in how long you can perform. Basic treatment option number 2. Icing. Typical. You have an injury. Throw some ice on it. Start by wrapping an ice pack around the wrist for 10 minutes 2 times a day. Make sure you have a towel there, skin's sensitive. We don't need any freezer burn on the wrist. Keep that on the wrist. It'll help decrease your swelling and decrease your pain, and as well as heal the area. To tie in with icing, let's go to heat. Heat, 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 heat. Hit your arm, hit your wrist. Before you get on that keyboard in the morning to get to type into work, before you pop on to League of Legends, wrap your arm, your wrist in a heat pack. It'll get the blood flowing to the area, it'll warm up all the muscles, the tendons, and get your arms nice and relaxed before you jump onto the keyboard just cold, unstretched. It will help, and again, it'll increase the duration on how long you can perform your task without needing to take a break. Neither of those are working, you're still having a lot of pain, we can get a little bit fancy with it. Let's do a contrast bath. I myself do these for my carpal tunnel probably every couple days. When my pain spikes, I immediately go to contrast baths. So since we're only working with the forearm, and this can be applied to any part of the body if you're having pain, athletes after practice will typically do their whole body. That's a bit exhausting. What you're going to need to do a contrast bath is 2 buckets, 2 plastic containers, 2 bathtubs, whatever works. What you're going to need is a bucket of warm water and a bucket of cold water. What you're going to do is submerge the injury in the bucket of warm water for 1 to 3 minutes, take it out, and move it into the bucket of cold water. Submerge it for about 1 minute, take it out, and back to the warm water. And then back to the cold water, back to the warm water for about 20 minutes, and end in the bucket of cold water. What you're doing is bringing blood to the area by putting it in the warm water, which circulates the system, increases blood flow, increases movement. When you move it to the cold water, you're very quickly constricting that and flushing the blood out and decreasing swelling. So by moving back and forth, you're helping pump blood throughout the section of your injury and the body to help decrease pain by a lot and increase healing drastically. They're a bit time-consuming to do. They're a bit rough by going from hot to cold, hot to cold. Make sure the temperatures are not too extreme that you do not burn or freeze your skin, but they are worth it in the end. Basic treatment help. Number 3. Compression. Simple enough. You're having a lot of pain, wrap the area. You could use an ace bandage if that's all you have on hand, but consider getting a brace. I bought braces for my carpal tunnel when it got painful enough. For a couple days, I wore them all day to help decrease the flexion of my wrist, which kept that carpal tunnel wide open, the channel nice so that all the blood flow could go through properly. When my pain started decreasing and after I did plenty of stretching, I now only wear these to bed. And ever since then, my wrists have been significantly better. You don't need anything bulky, you don't need anything even this long. This was just right at my local Walgreens. It could be something simple as long as your wrist cannot bend. That's a good brace. And last but not least, but everybody's absolute least favorite, basic treatment assistance. Number 4. Posture. I know! I too don't want to sit like this. It's not comfortable. And I'm not gonna make you do the extremes. I'd prefer to slouch. This is more comfortable. But you know what? When you're having pain, sometimes it's time for some adjustments. Analyze your sitting situation. I'm going to be putting some reference images in that I'm going to be able to talk about since you can't see my arms very well when I'm doing this. Analyze your sitting situation. Where are your arms? Are they out wide on your armrests? They shouldn't be. Bring them in. Right down to your body. That's a nice rest. When you're outstretched, you're putting a lot of pressure on the tendons in your arms. Drop them down. Your keyboard should be a lot lower than you think. You want your arms sitting at a 90-degree angle and your wrists on a more of a downward slope. If your wrists are bent up or your arm is bent at an upward angle, that's increasing pressure on your arm, which is going to only encourage pain in your wrist. If you're sitting with your arms flat, but you're still got your wrist bent up on your mouse and your keyboard, consider wrist rests. Something to help flatten it while you're still using that keyboard. I recommend gel pads as opposed to anything else. They're a bit sturdier and a bit more comfortable. And you can get pretty cheap ones right off of Amazon. Let's amp it up. It's time for the more complicated stuff, including exercising and stretching, all of which can be done while you're sitting. I will be uploading videos, so it's going to be in a different format, and it's going to be voiceover of me doing it standing. However, you can do them in your chair. If any of these bother your injury by more than 3, modify the exercise or stop doing it. Nothing should increase your pain by more than 3 points. There will be a slight increase in pain because what exercising does is bring movement, blood, mobility back to an area. Working an area does agitate it, but it will go up and then come back down. If it goes up to the point where your pain increases significantly, please stop or seek a medical professional. So let's go see these exercises, shall we? The prayer stretch. Take both hands, place palms facing each other, start at the height of your chest, and slowly move the hands down until you feel a nice stretch in the forearms. Hold for 10 seconds, slowly release, and repeat for 3 sets. The tendon glide. This one requires a lot of repetition, but it is a fairly easy stretch to do while sitting at your desk. It just takes a bit of explanation. What you're going to do is start with your hands at tabletop position, move into a bear claw, make sure all the fingers are pushed down against the hand, go to a closed fist position but loose, then spread the fingers wide. From that point you go back to tabletop, bear claw, loose fist, and spread the fingers wide. The thumb extensor stretch. Simply take your other hand and pull back the thumb nice and gently until you feel a stretch in the middle of your hand. Wrist flexion and extension, passive range of motion. You're going to be using the opposite hand to help stretch. So you'll be pulling back gently on those fingertips until you feel a stretch in the forearm. Flip over, do the opposite side, and you'll feel it in the top of your forearm. Repeat till you get 3 sets, hold for 10 seconds. These exercises can be done sitting in your chair, however, I just was able to film them easier while standing up. Here is a modified version of the previous exercise. This is to be done without extending the arm fully, but still getting the same stretch in the hand and wrist. The median nerve glide, an active range of motion exercise. Start with your hand in that extensor stretched position and with the palm up, bring it into your shoulder, curl the wrist in, and reach back out. You'll start to feel stretch in the forearm and wrist. If you're interested in exercise equipment, Amazon offers the Digiflex, TheraBand, FlexBar, and PowerWeb. All 3 of these are excellent pieces of equipment to help stretch out and strengthen the fingers, wrist, and forearm. Tutorials for all of these equipment can easily be found online. I hope you all found this video helpful, and if you did, please leave a like and consider hitting that subscribe button. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. But until then, this healer is clocking out. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye! Coca-Cola, can you please sponsor me? Please. And remember to always thank your healers. Bye! Baby, tell me one more beautiful life, one touch and